afternoon, good evening. Those of you on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook platforms, we thank the Most High for you, and you. And welcome to Biblical Marriage Wednesday. I'm Mr. Clay, and we're coming from the book of Esther. Esther, we're talking about Ahasuerus, and we're talking about Mordecai and Esther. Yes. Let's get into it. And we're going to skip verses, and in verse 2, we're going to start with that. And in the days when King Ahasuerus sat on the throne of the kingdom which was in Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all the princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, and the nobles and the princes of the provinces being before him. Now he showed all his riches and everything. He was they drank a little wine, and you can read on if you want to in your time. And we're going to go to verse 9. It says, and Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to the king Ahasuerus. And on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Habana, Bigtha, and Abagtha, and Zitha, and Carcass, and 7 chamberlains that serve in the presence of Ahasuerus in the king, to bring Vashti, my beautiful queen, before the king with the crown royal, and to show the people and the princes her beauty. For she was very fair. Look, I mean, this is a fine black woman, okay? She was fair to look on. And when Queen Vashti refused to come to the king's commandment by his chamberlains, therefore was the king wroth and is angry. Now why she didn't? Because she had her own little party going on. You read above that. She had her own little party going on. She got too common with her position. She looked at her body as some of you do and say, oh, I'm just fine. This man need me. I don't need him. This man got me. I am the bread on the table. I come to the table. My body, whatever I got, is on that table. But Vashti didn't see there's another choice. There's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody finer than you. And there's always somebody humbler than you. Yes, somebody that's willing to be a wife. Somebody that don't overstep her bounds or change and do these things which are not right before God. And the king said to the wise men in verse 13, which knew the times, for so the king was manner toward all that knew the law of judgment. In other words, get rid of them. And Memucan said before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen had not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes. Now, you call yourself want to be with a high value man, and you supposed to be a high value woman just because you got the shape of a lifetime. That can quickly leave you. All it takes is a few seconds. You got the shape of a lifetime. You got all these other things, and you won't humble yourself before your husband or that high value man, and you say you're a high value woman. You got a big body count. You got all these things. He don't want you. He's looking for something else. He says in verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad to all women. In other words, you've been influenced by women in old movies and new movies, those you see on the street, Coffee, and all these other movies that you saw of these women call themselves high value with a low value man. High value with a thug. High value wanting what they want. They want action. They want adventure. Yes, this is your thug. This is your action and adventure. Well, other women, they say, well, my action and adventure is just walking through the woods and discovering things. Other women might say, my action and adventure is just to, be with my husband, and we just walking with our family, and we adventure somewhere and maybe go, to a swimming hole or something like that. But no, you want the bright lights and all the fashions. You want to be like the movie star without the movie star value. And they're miserable in themselves. But yet, he said here in verse 19, if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered. Vashti You just caused this man to be shamed because you thought your beauty, your behind was better than him. You thought you was above him. He's the one that made you the one you are. And if he didn't, still, that's your husband. She put him down in front of all the company like some people do. But she had to pay for that. Here comes, it's time to get rid of her. And when the king decreed, which he shall make, be published throughout all the empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give their husbands honor, both to great and small. This is what God even says to us. Let's go to chapter 2. We're going to Esther chapter 2. If I can get this thing to go right. Esther chapter 2. Now, let's go there. Now, verse 13. And there came every maiden. See, he called. He wanted to get married again. He's getting rid of Vashti. Vashti, you done screwed up. You done just bumped your head. You forgot who the king was. You forgot who that king of yours was. You forgot who that man of yours was. And then he gets so fed up with you, then you say, then you want to divorce him first before he divorces you, so you can save your honor. Some of you have screwed up. Many of you have screwed up and divorced the man first before he divorced you because you know something was about to go down. Yes, you do. Then thus came every maiden to the king, whatsoever he desired was given her, with her out of the house of women unto the king's house. In other words, they said, hey, I want that for you. For every time you do something, there's a woman ready to take your place. There's a woman that's willing to give that man children. There's a woman that's willing to wait on that man hand and foot. There's a woman that would willing to give that man her all, that she might receive the love of that man and the commitment of that man, even the confidence of that man to who she is as a woman. Men, take note. You don't have to go with anything just because they look good, got a nice body and all the thing. There's other women that look good and got nice bodies and willing to do anything, willing to bow down if they have to, because you are such a good man and because you are such a person that many desire. Yes. And when the turn of Esther came, after all those women came up there, the daughter of Bahalal. Now she was the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter. In other words, they were killed. If you read the first part, they were killed, wounded, whatever, in battle or whatever, because you know Nebuchadnezzar was out there too. Now here we go. Esther, fine black woman, shaped like a model. I mean, and just as humble. Knew her role, knew what she wanted, and knew what she should be. Maybe her father and mother was an example before her. And Mordecai sure wasn't an example, even though he had a fine niece, a fine daughter that he took on for himself. And so Mordecai, I'm sure he schooled this woman. And not only him, his wife. Now, it was coming to the house of the king, and she required nothing. In other words, first thing, that woman gonna come to you. She's not gonna require nothing of you. She's not gonna ask you for $50 here to buy her a McDonald's hamburger. She's not gonna ask you to come get her because she's hungry. She's not gonna ask you all that. She's gonna have her own. She's gonna sit up there and say, well, and you're gonna see her need and you're gonna want to give to her need. She's not gonna say nothing. Many women, humble women, women of nobility, nimble women of quality, they have no needs. If they did, you would never know it. Okay. Now, it says he had taken the daughter and says, come in to go unto the king. And she required nothing, but that Hegai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appoint. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of them all by the way she walked, by the way she talked, by her mannerisms, by her, just her respect for everybody, no matter how low they are. This was a woman truly of high value. I'm going to get to that. Now, so she was taken to King Esther's in verse 16. And the king loved Esther. He said, oh, this joker is not only fine, but she's everything I ever wanted, better than Vashti that I had. I'm paraphrasing and doing all kinds of stuff here. For those of you who want to go through it, you can read it for yourself. Now, she obtained grace and favor in the sight more than all the virgins, men and women of marriageable age who had not had sex, so that he set a royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. See, even the Bible talks about a woman of great worth. Yes, 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 you say you got a lot to go through, but you still got a hell of a lot to go through anyway. Yes, you say you'll never create a child. Your body nurtures the child until it's ready to come out the earth or come out your body. God created man and woman way back in Eve. There is no creation of man this day. No creation whatsoever. Even your Jesus ain't created. Mary was inseminated by Joseph, and out popped Jesus. Okay? I don't care how you look at it. You can say, he done sinned. You can whatever you want to do. But a woman of great worth. I tell you one thing. You have to really understand the Most High. And you have to really understand that you are who you are. And accept who you are as a woman. Because even as one guy heard, he said, a woman of great worth can walk in a room and men will straighten up. Men will defend her with his own life because he knows this woman is a real woman. Not that she put any man down, but that she walks with great dignity and nobility. No matter what people she come from. Whether you come from this tribe, that tribe, over there across the street in the hood, or over on 52nd Street somewhere, yes, people will know who that woman is. No, man, she's not no 304. No, you shut up. Yes, I see that. And with a woman like Vashti who figured she had it all made with this man and then she dissed him in the midst of all his partners. Made him look like he wasn't nothing because she had what? She had her little women's thing. She had the girls going on. She could have said, wait a minute, hold it. I don't care what you say. I'm going to check out my husband. I might not be back, and I might be back. That's the way it should be done. But anyway, with all this, give it all to God. Make yourself over. Think about all the things that an honorable woman should be. And you, man, think about that which an honorable man should be. Even that of the kings of your tribe, the kings of the men that have had families and many children for years, and they all honor him and cause him to be even put up. And, it's not about all, it's not the man and woman. It's because everybody know who they are. And this is what the enemy don't want you to do, is know who you are, even as your gender and your sex and who you are and what your role is and what you're supposed to be doing and what is deep in your heart to do. Because it's in the heart of every woman to serve a man, and it's in the heart of every man to serve his woman. Protect her. Be that father. Be that discipliner. Be that one that the children looked up to. Be the one that honor his woman that the children look up to and say he called a blessing. Yes. That's what they do. But you have to look back into the old landmark to find out how they began to have a family. You can't have a family. A family starts with you now. The family starts with you right now, the way you are carrying yourself. That's it. And with that, I'm going to say, peace.